Hello everyone, welcome to the another topic of today's discussion. This video is going to be longer than the usual one because this is going to give you a detailed analysis of the YouTube videos that are being made while using the AI content, that is artificial intelligence content. What could be the possible feature of this type of content, whether that AI content is going to lose the monetization of the channel or is going to promote the channel with monetization. All these things will come into detail. So since the video is going to be an analysis, therefore I would like to request the viewers to have patience to understand in detail what about these particular policies all about. However, please note that I have used the Gemini paid version Pro while generating this deep research work through the analysis that I am going to share with you all in this regard. I have already copied that in the Google Doc, which I am going to share with you in the recorded screen. So let me first come back with this issue here. What about the monetization? Now, topic has been chosen in this regard, that monetizing AI driven content on YouTube, a policy and best practices analysis. So now here I am going to use this epic pen model so that I can highlight the respective portion for your understanding. Now if I go here with this specification, so my area of discussion is completely based on monetizing AI driven content on YouTube, a policy and best practice analysis, right? So what exactly this particular analysis is going to cover about that, this has been mentioned here. So artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming content creation, and YouTube, here it has been mentioned, is adapting its policies to address this evolution. For creators, leveraging AI tools, understanding YouTube stance on AI generated or AI assisted content is crucial for successful monetization. Now, this is the area which is gray area, which we are going to cover, like what are those AI contents which ultimately will be utilized for monetization of your channel as well, right? So as you can see the left hand side of this particular area, so we have certain important model we are going to cover. One is section 1, that is already seen here, like foundational policy on monetizing AI generated content, if I can mark it here. Next one will be coming on the specification of section 2, that is meeting originality and value requirements for AI assisted content. So each section is supported with one of the type of question which generally we keep in our mind, but we find difficult to appropriate answer. This answer in fact is deeply researched, so therefore we can rely on this particular information available. Thereafter, third section will come up in this analysis about the disclosure imperative for AI generated content, because sometimes we find that YouTubers who are generating the AI content, they are not disclosing it. So what are those content which require this type of disclosure also so far being covered in this discussion. The fourth section will come up, navigating content pitfalls with AI generated material, and we'll go with the fifth section. The final section is about best practices for compliant and monetizable AI content. After this we'll also follow a very easy like table of content by which we'll understand how this particular policy ultimately will be helpful in fact to monetize the channel through this table. So what are the things which we should do and what are things we generally should avoid to do, so that monetization of the AI content still can continue for the YouTube creators or content creators. Okay, this also will come up, and finally we'll go with the conclusion of this analysis, what so far has been suggested for this specific purpose, that also will come for discussion. And since it's a deep research that the ultimately Google Pro has provided, so this works, I'm like, this entire analysis is based on various sources. So far I can find out about 12 important sources with the specifications about the HTML page or URL. This I will also paste in the description box, so you can find out this content readily available on your fingertips, right? So without wasting time, let us quickly we go with section 1 of this particular study. This is about the dealing with this foundational policy on monetizing AI generated content. So it gives you a detailed description so far. So if this is something not required, if you want to go for a section 2 or section 3 for your purpose, you can skip accordingly your video. So let me again activate this epic pen model, and so that I can highlight. Okay, so the primary question so far being raised here is about this question is about what is YouTube's general policy on monetizing AI generated content. Now answer has been given very particularly. Let us find out what exactly the answers that we are finding in this specific regard. So if we come back with the answer, the Gemini has provided a very good answer with all compatible sources, and you can find out like here is one particular point is one. When we speak about that, let me come back with this particular pen work. This is one, and you will find this is third work. All the works being cited in this specification altogether. So this is something going to be very much helpful. Okay, so first we start with the answer of this question. The question, as I once more repeat, what is YouTube's general policy on monetizing AI generated content? So YouTube permits the monetization of content created with the assistance of artificial intelligence. This you can find out here. Artificial intelligence provides such content aligns with all platform policies. Now this platform policy means all the policies which are somehow related with the YouTube videos, and also the policies which are related with the monetization, all in fact somewhere should be compatible with. So including the YouTube partner program, in short YPP, that requirement whatever it comes up, same with community guideline and terms of services and Google AdSense program policies. Now this Google AdSense policies, when we speak about this, perhaps we need to understand that this particular Google AdSense has a very important role to play. For example, monetization. So this particular item has also policy which in fact one should comply with to get the monetization of its own channel. But the issue is that whether AI content will help this, or in fact somewhere this can come as a taboo to have monetization, right? So now coming back with the next portion here, once more we try to find out what exactly is the critical issue so far being suggested here. Now from that, what we could find out that this the AdSense policy, after that another important line which stands here is about the platform's official position reflects an embrace of AI potential to unlock new forms of creativity and efficiency for creators. That means what happens, it gives another important area for a discussion where one can find out how AI will give further competitiveness among the creators to provide the best and also engaging item in this specific regard. However, this openness is coupled with a strong emphasis on responsibility and preservation of human creativity. This is also another important point which we do find in this specific regard, right? So when we speak about this issue, we need to understand that how the monetization policy somewhere will be applicable to this specific approach. Now coming back to another important let me like the next paragraph here. So when we go back with this analysis, we need to also understand the next important area for coverage. What it says, a primary condition for monetizing AI assisted content is that it must be original and add value to the viewer's experience. This something is very important here. If it is not original, or if it has no value added to the particular the AI content, then hardly it has anything to do with the specific aspect of means this particular AI content has no value. So obviously this somewhere will have impact on monetization altogether. So YouTube explicitly states a desire for human creators to be involved in the content creation process. Now this is very important, that AI obviously is depending on human beings, that what kind of content ultimately it can generate. So this is something the human intervention is also required, that the YouTube clearly mentioned in its so far proposal. Now AI can be employed to edit, enhance, or generate portions of a video, but it is not intended to entirely replace human input. So this is an important area which we have to keep in mind, that AI cannot replace the human work altogether. AI obviously can assist the human work, by which this work can be more creative and engaging, something of that value added otherwise. Okay, so consequently content that is fully automated means demonstrates minimal efforts, appears mass produced, or lacks a discernible human touch, is frequently rejected from monetization. So this is the area, the gray area, where monetization of the AI content will not be allowed, right? So these monetization policy are applied to a creator's channel as a whole, meaning that widespread non-compliance in individual videos can, now going to the next particular page, if we speak about jeopardize the monetizing status of the entire channel. Now from that perspective, let me come back with once more cleaning this screen and once more coming with this pencil. So that can jeopardize the monetization status of the entire channel. This is something which we have found out in this answer. But another part which is also open here is about this policy framework represents a careful balancing act. On one hand, YouTube aims to foster innovation and support creators who utilize new AI technologies. This is another important area, which can lower production barriers and introduce novel content formats. So there is a possibility that if you use AI, you definitely can create value add in terms of the creation, which definitely becomes novel in this specific regard. So on the other hand, the platform must protect or you can say protect the user experience and advertiser confidence from a potential influx of low quality, spammy, or repetitive automated content. Now as you already know that regarding the repetitive content, YouTube has its own novel policy. So if I am a person, I am creating something, I'm like from my older video, and I have not changed anything on that particular perspective. So obviously this is a repetitive content, so which the YouTube definitely will not allow for monetization. This restriction is also applicable in terms of the AI content as well. So the consistent stress on value and originality underscores this effort to maintain a healthy content ecosystem, right? Furthermore, the requirement for human involvement signifies that the degree and nature of this involvement are critical determinants for monetization. Now this monetization is ultimately is a major issue that we have to keep in mind. So it is not merely the use of AI, but how AI is integrated with human creative oversight also matters. That influences eligibility for YouTube partner program. So YPP has a major role to play, and this positions human creativity and strategic input as indispensable components even in an increasingly AI assisted content landscape. So without saying this, we have to take into account from that particular perspective. Now coming to this section 2, very important area which we have to take into account. Now, section 2 speaks about meeting originality and value requirements for AI assisted content. And accordingly, a question has been raised here before the Google Gemini, and this question was, how can AI assisted content meet YouTube's originality and value requirements for monetization? Now AI, that is called Gemini, has answered beautifully. Let us find out that and try to understand what exactly it has suggested. For this question, for AI assisted content to meet YouTube's stringent originality and value requirements for monetization, as we are discussing about monetization perspective, creators must strategically employ AI as a tool to augment and enhance human creativity rather than as a complete substitute for it. So as I said also, that if you are completely replacing the human control in creativity, then this type of channel where we find huge AI content will not be considered for monetization. So the core principle is that human input should be evident, hence which is visible, transforming AI generated elements into something unique and engaging for the audience. So if I create something as human being which is engaging my audience, and at the same time keeping the protocol what just now mentioned here, then my YouTube channel will have monetization scheme. And in fact, so far with the current proposal, there is no question of demonetization of my own channel. Now I'm coming to the particular next paragraph here and try to understand what exactly it suggests further. So when I speak about this, to add this demonstrable value, creators are encouraged to incorporate distinct human elements such as original narration, insightful commentary, or a unique editing style that reflects a personal touch or brand identity. So I have seen many YouTubers who are doing exactly this work, and those channels are really appreciable because not only they are showing about their eligibility, their ability to control AI, but same time those channels are monetized channel, right? And if now further it says, if AI assists in script generation, the final script should be well written, engaging, and devoid of a robotic tone. Now robotic tone means basically you will find like earlier the videos used to have the kind of robotic voice, which you can definitely make that it is not from human, it's a robotic process. But subsequently what happened, now we have lots of AIs which can clone the voice. So cloning voice, in fact in this connection, whether will be accepted or not, this remains still a question, but we'll find out the answer subsequently. But for the time being, we can simply say like cloning voice obviously is accepted if you have cloned your own voice, right? So now coming back to this area, this often involves humans significantly rewriting or guiding the AI to infuse storytelling, educational components, or nuanced perspective that AI alone would not typically produce. Providing original analysis or insights further distinguishes the content as this has been said as valuable. So from this particular perspective altogether, we find the answer critical, and we definitely see that the content which is original and which has a value added significant content, those obviously will be taken into account even if a creator has used the AI. So now we are coming back with the next particular paragraph. What exactly the answer is, let us try to find out of the same question. Now, ensuring originality involves moving beyond simple AI outputs. Creators should avoid directly copying and pasting AI generated materials with minimal or no modifications, as this can be flagged under policies against reused content. So therefore, once you have created and you have same thing you have copied and pasted, definitely the reused content, for that monetization will not be acceptable. A more compliant approach involves mixing AI generated visuals or audio with live action footage, screen recordings, or other personally created assets. So here I think we need to understand an important aspect, like what I am doing now. I'm not only speaking to you, but at the same time recording this screen. This content has been generated by the Google Gemini through a deep research. So it's a kind of analysis. So this kind of content, when I'm presenting before you, this is acceptable in terms of YouTube monetization policy. Now, if I record this, I make my own video as a like a deep seek video from the AI, and also I clone my voice. So entire thing is done by the particular AI. So there is no such visibility that what I have done in this regard. I have just worked behind the screen, ultimately upload videos. So this kind of channels are always in danger, and they will be subject to demonetization in future. So that is something being suggested in this specific regard. Now coming to the next part, developing a consistent channel brand, personality and narrative flow, even when using AI tools, also contributes to the perception of originality. So this is being accepted as original one, means validated one, so it will go definitely without saying as a part of monetization. These practices align with the broader Google AdSense program policy. See, as soon as you meet with these Google AdSense policies, so your channel has no risk, no danger. It definitely will go for monetization. Now, why so? Because that emphasize content quality, expertise, authoritativeness and trustworthiness. Now E80 in short, this E80 we always often we find in AdSense policy, so please keep in mind. E stands for expertise, A stands for authoritativeness, and T stands for trustworthiness. So expertise means as a human you have utilized AI skill, but you have developed something original. Authoritativeness means you have the command over the AI by which either write up or video or music has been generated. At the same time, trustworthiness means that whatever you have done, that is matching with the Google's different platform policies, including AdSense policy altogether. So this E80 often necessitating human oversight, okay, to achieve. So this is something which we have found out here as a matter of portion so far. Now coming back to the next portion of this specific answer, next particular paragraph also being suggested here. So it suggests that the platform's approach implicitly sets a standard akin to transformative use. Now this, please note this transformative use, because a concept which is similar to copyright law. So I'm just removing this line and adding something unique. So if you see this one, transformative use, it clearly says copyright issue. So copyright law, in which you will find this term called transformative use. So this is something, what exactly you're generating. Are you generating same from whatever available, or you are generating from the material but something which is unique, which is novel, and that you have developed? So definitely that will not have any copyright strike, right? So this also being considered here as a matter of consultation so far. So when we are saying all this specification, let us come back with another important area going with this. So transformative use, when we speak about this specific area as a concept familiar to copyright law. So AI generated outputs are not inherently unoriginal. Please note this one. But their monetizability largely depends on how significantly they are altered. So combined with human creative labor. So AI and combined with human labor, both will come up, or so far purpose to create something new that offers a distinct experience or message to the viewer. That means if something has been generated which has something new meaning from the existing one, so that obviously will be accepted in this particular perspective. Consequently, the burden of demonstrating originality and value is arguably higher for content that heavily relies on AI. So it is you, since you are using AI, the burden is on you that how far it is original and how far it has added value to the viewers. That ultimately question to be raised by the YouTube, and you have to answer that. That is something which we have found out in this specific regard. Okay, reviewers are vigilant for signs of low effort automation or mass produced elements. Now here reviewers means what? The YouTube reviewers who definitely are looking into different channels. They are also having assistance of AIs by which they find out this type of particular issue. So when we speak about that, AI also helps the YouTube reviewers to find out this kind of channels. Therefore, creators using substantial AI assistance must proactively showcase the human touch, be it through unique perspectives, creative editing choices, or personal engagement to successfully navigate monetization reviews. This particular indicates that AI is not a straightforward path to monetization but requires thoughtful and strategic human integration. So ultimately the matter comes, even if we are living in the era of AI and in future definitely, but the human interference, human involvement and human labor, these are the currently the particular essentials which in fact the YouTubers reviewers will definitely look into this, that how far human labors are involved or creativity is involved behind the generation of AI. Alright, now this portion being given, we are coming back with the section 3. Now section 3, as we know, that it deals with the disclosure imperative for AI generated content. Most of the times we have seen that the creators are not disclosing in their either while talking or through the particular text in their video, or sometimes they should also do in their descriptive box. Like these are things which we have consulted. So not being done means definitely that creates a specific issue here. So the question that was raised before the Google Gemini about what should be answered by it. So the question was, when must creators disclose the use of AI in their monetization YouTube videos? Now it has been answered very effectively. Let us find out that once more and try to see what exactly the answer was given. So from this perspective, it answers, the Gemini answers, YouTube manages that creators discloses the use of AI when their content includes, what are those? Realistic looking altered or synthetic media that could potentially mislead viewers if the use of AI is not made apparent. Now here I can give you one small example. Like for example, any Hollywood or Bollywood personalities Seek video has been prepared with their cloning voice, and it has appeared in the YouTube platform, and which shows almost its original voice is absolutely original. For normal viewer, it will be very difficult to identify what is real and what is not real. So in this connection, what happens, the content creator must mention in the screen or in description box like what exactly the kind of AI has been used to create this kind of videos, so by which viewers are at least aware of the fact that this is not real but artificial one created by the or with the help of AI. That what exactly it means. So this policy, notably updated around March 2024, undergoes a commitment to transparency with viewers trust. So anything which is distrust to viewers definitely is not encouraged for monetization. Now here it comes up, this type of content or the types of content that necessitate disclosure include but are not limited to. Now what are those? Let us try to find out them now. So here you can find out one after the another. We are changing the color of the pen. We are finding first here synthetic media depicting realistic yet fabricated individuals, such as an AI generated person presented as real. Okay, this is just now I have given the example. Next one, if I go with this one, we find AI generated footage or of events that never occurred, or altered footage of real events or places presented as authentic. Now two ways. Suppose the first portion which has been suggested here, AI generated footage. Now this is something never occurred. So for example, FIFA World Cup happened in India. So this remains a question here in this regard, whether that has happened or not. Next part is that if you speak about the altered footage of these real events, remember real events, and but or places presented as authentic, which never happened. So in this connection, these are all the critical areas where the monetization policy definitely will have an adverse impact to this type of videos. So there are lots of examples which definitely you can think of, which are absolutely not accepted in this specific term. Now coming to another part, this is the third one, the use of synthetically generated video, particularly if they are AI clones of an identifiable real person's voice or a highly realistic synthetic voice narrating without clarification of its AI origin. So any Bollywood actor or actress voice being cloned, and suppose the creator has not mentioned in the screen that how the AI has been used to generate this voice, that definitely affects this. And the last one, what stands here is another important specification so far. Let me come back with that. So this is another important area. Deep fakes, which are AI manipulated videos or images that superimpose existing likeness onto other individuals or alter their speech or action. This is another important area which we have considered. So in a way, this list is not exhaustive. Please note that there may be other particular list which definitely the YouTubers or reviewers can bring into focus, and if the channel is being found affecting them, definitely demonetization of the channel notification will go to that, right? So now coming back with the next particular paragraph to find out what exactly are the other areas which we should look into that. Now disclosure is implemented through labels that may appear in the video's description, or for content dealing with sensitive topics such as health, news, elections or finance. A label may be displayed directly on the video play itself. So there is no question for description box you are providing. This is the area where in the video itself, within the video itself, one will have to provide these details, right? And coming back to another part, the primary aim of this disclosure requirement is to ensure that viewers are adequately informed about the nature of the content they are consuming, thereby maintaining trust in the platform's content ecosystem. It's a very important task, that why you have to do that in the video itself, so that you can gain the trust of your viewers in this regard. Now failure to comply, this is another important, failure to comply with these disclosure rules can lead to significant penalties, including the demonetization of the content, removal of the video, this is a very important one, or even suspension from YouTube partner program. So it's a very clearly being provided guidelines by which the YouTube content creators will have a really nightmare if this kind of penalties are being imposed in this specific regard. Okay, coming back to another important area. So let us go with another color. Okay, this disclosure policy serves as a proactive measures against the potential misuse of AI for creating deceptive content which is not real, particularly in area vulnerable to misinformation. Misinformation can provide lots of societal disorders, which in fact as content creator one should be responsible. That has been mentioned here. As AI technologies advance in their capability to produce highly realistic fake, the potential for manipulation, especially concerning sensitive public discourse, that grows. So this is something which we have found out here, and it clearly gives us the indication like why it should not be considered as the good channel for monetization. Okay, coming back to another important paragraph before we enter to section 4, the disclosure mandate attempts to mitigate this risk by empowering viewers with information. However, this also implies a shared responsibility where viewers are expected to notice and interpret these labels. There is a potential for disclosure fatigue if labels become overly common or are applied inconsistently, possibly diminishing their impact over time. Furthermore, the policy's reliance on the term realistic introduces subjective and evolving threshold. So these are all important aspects why ultimately disclosure should be made, and in what term and mandate disclosure should be made, also being made so far made it clear through Google Gemini. So as AI capabilities improve, what is considered realistic will undoubtedly change. This is alarming. For future course of action, definitely YouTube teams will sit and find out what are the other exhaustive lists that they can produce, with definitely disclaimer that in future these also will change. So this necessitating ongoing adaptation of policy and continuous vigilance from both creators and the platform to ensure clarity and consistent application of these important transparency measures, and that is why disclosures are mandatorily important. Now coming back to the next particular section, section 4, let us find out what section 4 suggests here. It suggests that navigating content pitfalls with AI generated material. The question which was asked to the Google Gemini in this regard, this is the question: what types of AI generated contents risk demonetization or violate YouTube policies? I think this is the gray area which I think we should pay proper attention to understand what are those gray areas where demonetizations are very much possible. So let us start with that and try to find out what exactly it suggests. So several categories of AI generated content are at risk of demonetization or policy violations on YouTube. Primarily those that fail to meet standards of originality. This originality is a very important term being continuously managed. Value added, transparency, or general platform guidelines if they violate so. So another important area comes up here. Content characterized by low efforts and a lack of originality is a primary target for demonetization. Now what it includes, we have found out here. First is about this portion. Let me check the color here. Yes, completely automated videos produced with no discernible creative input or minimal human effort. That is one. Next, mass produced or templated AI videos that exhibit little to no originality or variation from one piece of content to the next. We'll go with the next one. Again, changing color here. AI generated text or visuals that are merely copied and pasted with title to no substantive editing or human enhancement. This also will definitely come as a matter of demonetization. Okay, moving to the next part, try to find out what are those particular next issues which are standing here. Yes, another part which we have to go with that, the videos featuring AI generated narration that lack original insights, meaningful commentary, or significant creative editing by a human. Another portion stands here that says about repetitive AI generated values and at the same time visuals or slideshow style text to video clips that lack a clear human touch or narrative value. For example, when I'm recording this one through the screen recorder in laptop, I'm speaking on the camera, which obviously is not a deep fake video. I myself is original one, and I'm taking like all the tools for explaining to my viewers what exactly the AI generated content and how that can affect the monetization issue in the Google platforms. This becomes an original video, creative video. There is human intervention also, and the human labor is also involved. So this kind of videos are always safe for monetization policy altogether. So it says that this is often categorized under YouTube's policies against this repetitious content or reused content. So one should avoid this kind of content altogether, right? And now coming back to another portion, let us try to find out what exactly it says, because we have the fifth particular section also pending for, and try to find out what exactly that. So before that, let us find out what this misleading content what exactly says. So this is another significant area of concern. Videos containing undisclosed realistic AI generated depictions of people or events, or the use of altered voices in a deceptive manner violate YouTube transparency requirement and can lead to penalties. Penalties already we have discussed earlier. And another part is here. Furthermore, AI generated content is not exempt from YouTube's broader policies. So any content, regardless of its method of creation, that contravenes YouTube's community guideline. Now, what are those? Let me check out with another color. For example, spreading misinformation, hate speech, depicting harmful acts, will be subject to the enforcement action, including demonetization or removal. So this is one of the important aspects which we have found out here. Coming to the next part, similarly, content must adhere to advertiser-friendly content guidelines to be eligible for robust ad revenue. Copyright infringement also remains a critical pitfall. Using AI tools trained or copyrighted material without proper commercial rights, or generating AI music that is substantially similar to existing copyrighted song, can lead to strike and demonetization. So this is something which is absolutely right. Copyright material, it has a very important issue. So suppose in the now we have the AI for creating artificial song, and suppose a person is uploading existing song and requesting AI to generate a song of the similar kind, that definitely will affect the copyright issue and will be subject to demonetization. That is being specifically clarified in this regard. Now, coming back to the next portion, let us find out what exactly are those areas which we can look into that. So another portion which will come up here is channels described as faceless AI channels. Very important one we find nowadays extensively produced in the YouTube videos, which are densely packed with AI generated clips lacking distinct human commentary, branding, or a clear personality, are frequently flagged as low quality or spammy and risk demonetization. So they are definitely not entitled for demonetization. So those who are using this kind of videos, be aware of that definitely today or tomorrow the strike will come up and questions will be raised, and one will have to answer all these queries altogether. So coming to the next part, so it becomes apparent that AI tools can amplify the potential for violating existing platform policies rather than creating entirely new categories of prohibited content. So AI offers new scalable methods to produce content that may fall foul of established rules against spam, repetitiveness, copyright violations, or misinformation. Now this is something which we have found out here in this specific regard. We need to understand how this particular area can further be improved. So therefore, what Gemini has answered, YouTube's enforcement often involves applying these long-standing principles with a specific awareness of AI capabilities. Ultimately, all content, whether AI generated or not, must offer a clear value proposition to the viewer, be it entertainment, education, or unique insight. AI content that merely exists as a technological novelty without delivering substantive value is unlikely to meet monetization standard. Very clear. So without having innovativeness in your content, whether you're using AI or even non-AI videos, without having innovation, obviously that will not attract monetization to your channel or to your specific videos. So from that particular perspective, let us try to find out something beyond that and what exactly it comes up in this regard. So another important area which we can find out from this particular issues altogether, I think I'm just removing some of the lines here so that we can come back with another one. Yes, there is another important aspect beyond explicit policies, and ethical dimension is also emerging. Now this is a upcoming area where YouTube is framing policies, particularly concerning the unauthorized use of AI clone videos or deepfakes, suggesting that future policies developments may address more nuanced ethical consideration in AI development altogether. So this is something, another important specific area which we have to keep in mind altogether in this specific regard. So now coming back to the very interesting part, that is the last part of this video, is about section 5. So when we go with the section 5 perspective, we need to understand what exactly are those aspects. So section 5 here deals with a very interesting section that you can see in your screen now, is about the best practices for compliant and monetizable AI content. What the question being raised before the Gemini to answer is, what are key best practices for using AI in YouTube content to support monetization? This has been answered in a different perspective altogether. So we find out what answer has been given in this regard. So it says here, to effectively leverage AI for YouTube content creation while supporting monetization, creators should adhere to a set of best practices centered on human creativity, originality, transparency, and comprehensive policy compliance. Right. So let us find out what exactly are those. The foremost best practice is to prioritize and integrate significant human creativity. This is something which we have already dealt in our previous issues. So AI should serve as assistant to or a tool to human being, right? Not a complete replacement for the creator. If this is we maintain, we have very good content altogether. This involves blending AI generated elements with substantial human input, such as crafting original scripts, providing human voiceovers or distinctive narration, adding unique complementary that reflects personal expertise. So now coming to the fifth section, we'll go with that and try to find out how this fifth section from which we can learn about the use of AI content and how the channel can be monetized further. So the best practices perspective already being spoken here, and we'll see furthermore from this particular perspective the next portion altogether. Okay, so coming to that part, what is called the best practices in this regard, we'll go with the next particular parameter of best practice. So here the Google Gemini has answered another important parameter called ensuring originality and demonstrable value which is paramount. So ensuring originality and demonstrable value which is paramount. So creators must actively transform AI outputs rather than using them as is. This means adding unique insights, developing compelling narratives or storytelling elements, or providing educational components that go beyond generic AI capabilities. This is something is very important here. It is crucial to avoid creating content that appears templated, repetitive, or mass-produced, as this directly contravenes YouTube policy against such material. So this type of content definitely will hit the YouTube policy, and those channels will suffer with the monetization issue. Next part also mentioned here is about transparent disclosure. We have already covered in the one of the previous sections. What is a transparent disclosure is a key requirement when AI is used to create realistic content that could otherwise mislead viewers. This includes clearly labeling videos that features realistic AI generated individuals, events, or voices, particularly if the content touches upon sensitive topic in line with YouTube guidelines. Now this is being again, if you go with that, when to update it. So updated, this is around March so far about 2024. So this we find here as well. I'm just marking in. So March 2024 we find this update was being given. All right, now coming back to the another parameter here. This is let me again highlight this. This respecting copyright and intellectual property rights, which is absolutely non-negotiable. Means YouTube itself suggests that there are certain comments or videos which definitely we cannot consider for monetization because they are directly affecting the copyright issues or intellectual property rights issues of others. So creators therefore should use AI tools that explicitly grant commercial usage rights for the generated content. Means there will be no issue at all. Caution is advised with AI generated music to ensure it does not infringe on existing copyright compositions. So composition, music type, whatever, if it is they are already available in the market, a slight change will not help, and those particular creators will definitely will suffer with the monetization issue in future. If AI clone voice are used, obtaining necessary permission is essential, especially if the voice is of an identifiable individual. So as we said, like some politician's voice is cloned, or some Bollywood or Hollywood actors is being cloned, some famous personalities which with the voice which are known to us. So that could mislead many facts and events. That's therefore consent is necessary that I'm going to use your voice in this regard, right? So that means here cloning your own voice will not create any disturbance in monetization issue. So one can clone its own voice altogether. So this is something which we have found out here. Now coming to another important parameter here, a fundamental best practice is to adhere to all applicable YouTube policies. So YouTube partner program also suggests about that. So and not only AdSense, other features also we have to keep in mind. So AI generated content must comply with YouTube's community guideline, very important one. Advisor friendly content guidelines and Google AdSense program policies. So this means avoiding prohibited content categories such as misinformation, hate speech, or harmful acts. Definitely, if we avoid that, the videos are good in quality and definitely can be monetized subsequently as well. So this what we have found out here. Now coming back with the aspect, that is basically what can be done or not. So in this regard, let me come back with that. Finally, consistent focus on quality and audience engagement should underpin all AI assisted content strategies. The content should be well structured, genuinely engaging, and provide clear authentic value to the target audience. So this already we have discussed, again it has been repeated here, but yes, finally this is something which kind of briefing of the entire discussion came up. So what the content should be well structured, next is genuinely engaging and providing a clear authentic value to the targeted audience, right? Now coming back to another important area here is about the following table summarizes key consideration of the creators and what it suggests is very important here, that the monetizing AI content on YouTube, key do's and don'ts, right? That we have to find out here. So I'm coming back now with this table. So aspects being given here, let us come back with that. So here is the aspect on human element. What can be done here mentioned: prioritizing significant human creativity, narration, editing, and unique insights. These are allowed. What are not allowed is this. I think we can come back with a different color. What is not allowed this here is rely solely on AI automation with minimal human inputs or oversight, right? Next part is the originality, and what it says: transform AI outputs, add substantial original values and unique perspective, ensure each video offers distinct software values in this specific regard. Now from that, let us come back with the below part. So distinct substances, what cannot be done so far. For the purpose of this, we find the use of AI for mass produced, templated or repetitive content with little variation. This kind of content in fact should not be allowed altogether. So that means will create problem in this regard. Okay, next part which we find out here is about disclosure. We have already covered that, but disclosure means what? The disclose realistic AI generated elements such as people, event, voice that could mislead viewers. So you have to disclose always. What should not be used is that fail to disclose AI use, that is called disclose AI use, when it results in realistic synthetic media that could deceive viewers or when depicting sensitive events. So these are absolutely features which one should not take into consideration, because that will affect the YouTube channel. Next part, the aspect is about compliance. Now what is that? Adhere to all YouTube community guidelines, AdSense policies, copyright laws, and advertiser friendly guidelines. What should not be done here is the creator, basically the AI content that violates platform policies, for example misinformation, hate speech, copyright infringement, should be avoided. And at the same time, what we could find out further is about from the value of the viewer's perspective. Now here what happens in this specific regard, value of the viewers we find. So what is allowed here is about ensure content is engaging, informative, and provides clear value to the audience, and focus on solving problem or entertaining effectively. Not only entertaining but effectively at the same time. What should not be allowed here? This is a produce low effort AI content that lacks clear purpose, educational merit, or viewers benefit. If it lacks educational merit also, that also will not be considered. Avoid faceless channel with no personality. So this is also another important gray area which we should keep in mind. Okay, so what exactly the further the conclusion stands here. I'm like at the end of the table. Given the dynamic nature of AI technology and evolving platform policies, a proactive and cautious approach is advisable. Creators should favor more substantial human involvement and greater transparency to mitigate risk. Successfully monetizing this AI content will increasingly depend on the creators' AI literacy, a nuanced understanding of AI tools' capabilities, limitations, ethical considerations, and how their inputs align with the platform expectations. So these are the requirements which already being given, and as I said in the beginning of this video that Gemini has provided this answer effectively and based on these 5 questions. Now further it suggests that while AI can offer efficiencies in content production, these best practices emphasizes that no long-term channel viability and monetization success are built on genuine for audience engagement and trust, qualities that AI alone cannot cultivate. So this is a very important right tick I have given here, is very effectively it has been suggested. So from that perspective, now we move to conclusion of this video. We are coming to the conclusion part, and let us find out how the conclusion part could be effective. So first of all, the landscape for monetizing AI generated or AI assisted content on YouTube is one of cautious optimism guided by stringent policies that prioritize human creativity, originality, value, and transparency. Similarly, when we go with this, another important aspect, so YouTube permits the use of AI tools, recognizing their potential to enhance content creation and lower barriers to entry for creators. This is also being suggested. And finally, what we could find out, however, this permission is conditional, and we do find upon adherence to a comprehensive set of guidelines designed to protect the integrity of the platform and the viewer's experience. So from this, what we could find out that the issue with regard to the AI content and monetization of the YouTube channel, perhaps the viewers must have some clear idea in this regard. And in the conclusion part, we are just repeating what we have already covered in our discussion. So another portion which is still remaining for area is about the central theme of emerging from YouTube's policies, that AI should function as an augmentation of human creativity, not its replacement. A very important part. I think many times this has been discussed in this video. Content that is entirely automated lacks significant human input or is perceived as low effort or mass produced faces a high likelihood of demonetization. So this demonetization policy in this regard perhaps being suggested. The emphasis on added value or originality means that creators must actively transform AI generated elephants, infusing them with unique insights, commentary, storytelling, or educational merit that resonates with their audience. So this has also been suggested here, that how ultimately the matters will be taken into account in terms of when you are thinking about using the AI generated content, how that you can use in your channel, and which also will not compromise with the monetization issue. So demonetization obviously will not be taken into account. So another important part, now let us go with this area. So the introduction of this mandatory disclosure for realistic AI generated content that could mislead viewers signifies YouTube's commitment to transparency and combating potential misinformation. As being suggested here, this places a responsibility on creators to be forthcoming about their use of AI in specific contexts, particularly when dealing with sensitive topics or depicting realistic synthetic media. Another part also came up here, which stands with specification that navigating the pitfall of AI content creation requires diligence. Creators must avoid producing content that is merely repetitive or reused, and ensure that all AI assisted videos comply with YouTube's community guideline, this advertiser friendly content guidelines, and corporate laws. See, this when we speak about monetization, most of the things which come from AdSense. So advertisement, which definitely makes important changes so far in this regard. So if the video content through the AI not matching with the demand of the this advertiser friendly companies, then definitely those channels will not have ads as per the requirement. What the content creator was thinking may not be in that regard altogether. So the overarching goal is to create content that is not only public compliant but also genuinely engaging, the valuable to viewers as well. And now from that particular perspective, we move to another important area. So the ultimate perspective which we have to find out here is about the creation. That means the successful monetization of AI driven content on YouTube hinges on a strategic and responsible approach. By embracing AI as a powerful tool while ensuring significant human oversight, creative input, and adherence to all platform policies, creators can harness the benefit of this technology to build sustainable and monetizable channels. So monetization is absolutely possible in this regard, which is suggested. The evolving nature of AI necessitates continuous learning and adaptation from creators to remain compliant and effective in this dynamic digital environment, right? There's something being suggested here. I'm going back with this citation. See, these exactly the work cited here while generating the deep research by the Google Gemini, which I really appreciate in this regard, and these details I will share with you all in the video description box, so that you can also have access to this, and you can also make the innovative videos in this particular topic. So ultimately what we could find out in this specific regard is about that today's topic was absolutely based on monetizing AI driven contents on YouTube, a policy and best practices analysis, and we have found important 5 sections. The first section was on the foundational policy on monetizing AI generated content. The second one was regarding meeting originality and value requirements for AI assisted content. Third section was dealing with the disclosure imperative of AI generated content. Fourth section was dealing with navigating content pitfalls with AI generated materials. And the fifth one finally was the best practices for compliant and monetizable AI content, followed with the table which suggests about what should be done and what should not be done. So I hope this particular video was informative to all of you, and provided some of the critical informations about having always questions and queries that whether AI generated materials will have monetization at all or not, on what type of AI generated content I should use in my channel, and what type of AI content that I should not use in my channel. So these are being made clear from this video. I hope this will give you some sort of information, for which I will be really thankful to you. And please do let me know in the comment box whether this information at all became helpful to you for this understanding the specific area of how the YouTube monetization policy is also applicable to the AI generated contents. So that's all for now, and thank you for watching this particular channel and this video.